Gil can speak to it. So you haven't played this concerto in like 20-some years.
That's right.
You played it when you were younger and before you learned it when as a teenager, right? But then you brought it out this year and you have several performances. This is one of them.
Yes.
Are you playing it? I know you played it a couple of times before coming here. Are you playing it again, or is this the last time?
I hope not.
I mean, this season. You don't know.
Not in the next few months, but I hope to be doing it again. I love this piece. It's such a great masterpiece. And violinists, we're so lucky that Saint-Saëns wrote for us so many great violin pieces. You know, the concertos, there's a fantasy for violin and harp, there's some very famous short pieces, Introduction, Rondo Capriccioso, Havanese, Mayonnaise, Caprice Andalou, the sonatas. He was really one of the great violin concerto composers. And you know, when I think of concertos, you hear the cello concerto very often. And maybe from the piano concertos, you hear the G minor. Sometimes people play the Egyptian piano concerto. But I don't think this violin concerto is any less of a masterpiece. I think it's so perfectly written. It's such a masterful piece. It's Opus 61, like the Beethoven concerto.
And you,
It's one of the great pieces.
And you told me something about it, that it was composed within 4 years of several other.
Yeah, I didn't realize, it's a little bit of trivia. I didn't realize until a couple of weeks ago. Those years, 1877 to 1880, were very special years for violinists. You know, we have the Tchaikovsky Violin Concerto was written in 77, the Brahms Violin Concerto in 78, and the Dvorak Violin Concerto in 79, and then this Saint-Saëns Third Concerto was written in 1880. It really was this kind of constellation.
Something in the water.
Great masterpiece. Yes.
4 years.
Yeah.
Where do you? Go ahead.
Could you tell us a little about the background of your encore?
Oh, yeah.
That sounds like there's an interesting and useful story about that.
No, I was very honored. I've been working with composer Scott Wheeler for many years. He's a very brilliant composer who writes many different styles, and we're very lucky that he writes for violins. And he, you know, I think one of the last concerts I played before COVID hit was in New Mexico, in Los Alamos, and I played with a pianist friend, Akira Gucci, and as an encore, as one of our encores, we played one of my favorite pieces, The Graceful Ghost Rag by Bill Bolcom, which is really, for those of you who know the piece, you love it. Those of you who don't know the piece, you must learn this music. It's incredible. I guess the piano version was the original, but he arranged it for violin and piano. And afterwards, we saw Scott in the audience. We had a long conversation about ragtime music and about Bill Bolcom, and in particular, the Graceful Ghost Rag. And so I have a feeling maybe that's a little bit what Scott had in mind when he sent that email to me saying, you know, I'm thinking of all my lonely musician friends practicing in their practice room.